All right, my name is Nuru. Welcome to Twilight's Podcasting, 1017 Twilight's Podcasting. And we have a special guest here. Sir, can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Boman. You're here with Jihad Secure. I'm a community activist, an educator, organizer, propagandist, author, and a member of New African Independent Movement. Three the line. Revolution agree.
Okay.
Peace, y'all.
Okay. Can you please tell me what exactly is the New African Independent Movement, sir?
Well, New African Independent Movement is a collective movement, individual, organization, formation, collectives, and cadres that are geared toward that are moved together and move and get geared to working toward the aspect of New African independence. And New African independence is based the aspect of own and control and operate everything that pertains to you, and from schools, from hospital, from grocery stores, from resources, from community gardens, from the gardens, from electricity, from the government, from the military, to the court system, to the health companies, to the doulas, to the birthings and the spiritual, religious organization, collectives, and formation, so forth and so on, right? That's basically what it is, and and we basically believe that uh, in fact, I'm gonna go back to get a historical thing. New African Independent Movement started March 31st, 1968 in Detroit, Michigan. By finding people that were there during the national convention. To find the people that were there, 200 people signed the Declaration of Independence, giving independence and the Declaration of Freedom for new African people, right? And letting us know that we all have our own government, our own military, our own army, and all things that we can defend, and that's the territory. The territory considered to be the territory that which our the people came through that were captured uh, through the translated slave trade. These places were Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and South Carolina, the five states. But some people call it the Black Belt South. We wanted to build we still want to build a nation right there amongst those people. Because historically, and also right now, the most dominant population of people there is people that look like us, new African people, African descendants. And they're the most dominant people in the area, right? We wanted to build those areas up, the institution, the program, the landscape, the agriculture. We're going to build everything up, you know what I'm saying, from slavery to now. But that's what we
Hmm.
fight for.
Okay, interesting. Can you tell me some goals, like some goals of the organization, like what y'all trying to accomplish?
Well, you know what I'm saying? We're not actual organization. We are a movement, right? The structure that was started was called the Provisional Government of Africa. The Provisional government is our political and government structure. The Republic of Africa is the five state, which is the people, the institution, and programs, right? So some of our end goal is freeing the land, which obtaining this physical land. What we looking at the land mass, these five states. That's our physical goal, right? In the midst of those goals, we want to create cities or towns and districts in all these states that are controlled and operated by us in regards to new African independent, new African nation. So, for instance, if we have a school, the school gonna have African education.
Huh.
If we have if we deal with economics, it's gonna be dealing with cooperative economics. We got food. If we got some of our food there, we're gonna have our own community gardens as well as a farm there. If we talking about a military, we're gonna have our own people that were trained, a citizen militia, and also soldiers known to lead there. They're gonna be defend our area.
Hmm.
If we talking about mass incarceration, we gonna educate our people and with our own schools about mass incarceration, how to prevent and avoid those situations to make our people better. So those are just things we're looking to do and are doing in some areas right now. Currently, those things are manifesting. Like for instance, this last weekend just passed by. There was the Malcolm X Festival that took place in Atlanta. The Malcolm X Festival did the 35th anniversary. The Malcolm X Festival was created by an organization known as Negro People Organization that we all call the Malcolm X Grass Movement. 1990, 1991, the Malcolm X Festival was born. The Malcolm X Festival is a time and place where you can see all the new African businesses from all over the world. You can delve into different types of delights and foods from Jamaican, Caribbean, African, island, vegan, so forth and so on. It's very artists and poets be performing there, speaking engagements. It's just a fun time for us to celebrate ourselves and our culture and our people. You can buy things, anything imaginable that's owned by people after the set. You can buy that from toothpaste, the hats, the shoes, the clothes, the books, so forth and so on, right? But it was created by the new African independent movement, known as the Malcolm X Festival. It's created in 1991 in Atlanta, Georgia. I remember there's a new African People Organization, which the Fort Mason was created in 1984 on the birthday of Malcolm X, May 19th. And Malcolm X Festival commemorated his birthday. Malcolm X, the father of the Republic of New Africa, he's the father of the new African independent movement. He's the father of the new African nation. He's the father. He told us that land the base of independence. So that what we find the struggling for, independence. Land. Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. Interesting. Can you tell me about any like well-known key figures or members that's part of the movement, sir?
Well, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them I can name. For instance, one of the founders was Dr. Matula Secure, a well-known acupuncturist, the father of rapper Tupac Secure as well. Remember New African Independent Movement, and what is the mama Phoenix Secure, and what is his godmother Asada Secure. Those people are well known. You have people like Saint Secure, aka Monster Coda from the H-Ray Gangsters. You have people like Daddy Sierra from Pyru Street, from the West Pyru Street, West Side Pyru boys, Pyru Street boys. People like Sarif Secure from the Oaken Park Gangster Crips out of Linwood and Compton. Yeah, people like Matofi Dagoma from Bound and Hunter Blood. People like J.N.A. from Bound and Hunter Bloods. You have very individuals indicating on the Pontiac 17. Well, different owners in Chicago. We're about to receive a death penalty for the murder of a pig, for a police, a correctional officer. There are different people from organizations like Growth and Development, Gang Disciples, Black Disciples, Black Peace Nation, Vice Lords, everyone so forth so on. They all in the midst of going to court. They were defended by a new African attorney named Choka Lumumba, and he convinced them to become new African citizens. So they became part of new African individuals as well. And some of those people at that time were people like Benny Lee from the Vice Lords, Larry Hu from Growth and Development, Ike Taylor from Growth and Development. There's individuals like that. Those were some notable individuals, right? And throughout this time period, new African independent movement has been a movement that has been geared toward being out in the trenches with the people, being in the streets with them, educating them, being in the prison with people, educating them. A lot of individuals that have seen their education and transferring themselves from a criminal mentality to a revolution mentality to a progressive mentality, so they be a better asset to the people. So, this information is very transformative, within itself. And I yield.
Yes, sir. I heard you say something about the prison chapter. I remember when I was incarcerated, several years back, I was actually writing a group as well, a movement as well. I can't remember the name, but it was like it was something similar, like the African American prison chapter or something like that. I was writing these people for like years too, and they were sending me like pamphlets and things like that. And I sent my poems to the company, and they published them in they pamphlets and everything. Like,
African Black Panther Party Freedom Chapter is not a part of the New African Independence Movement. They just have New African in their title. They're not. They're more in the Black Liberation Movement.
Okay.
In regards to that aspect of things, they don't identify with the independence movement. They just have New African in title. New African Black Panther Prison Chapter, which is on the streets now. You know, their chairman, so to speak, Shaka Zulu, but they hadn't to do with New African Independent Movement at all.
Okay. And you said the headquarters is located in Detroit, sir? Detroit, Michigan?
No, I never said what the headquarters that the head, you know what I'm saying? The capital, so to speak, is Mega Everville, known in Jackson, Mississippi. That's the capital.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're the capital of the Republic of Africa. Mega Everville, aka Jackson, Mississippi, name it Mega Evers. That's the capital.
Oh man, Jackson, Mississippi got a lot of things that came out of that. That's interesting. Very interesting. Is there anything else you wanna share with us?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I want to share exactly what is a New African, right? Because people keep hearing me saying New African. A New African is an individual that's an ancestor of the people that were captured, kidnapped, and taken advantage of, and brought into physical slavery in Africa and brought to America, starting in the 1500s all the way up to the 1619, right? These individuals were forced to breed with each other and form new types of Africans, and no longer the original African people they were. They're no longer the Zulu, the Mandingo, the Wolof, the Fanti, the Shanti, so forth and so on. They were forced to breed with each other, and in the midst of breeding with each other, they were raped and attacked by the slave master and forced to breed them too as well. They also forced to breed with other people that were native to the land. Also, might have been already been here. So throughout that time from 1619 to 2000, 1619 to 1619 to 1865. It was over 200. It was like 200 plus years. These people developed to a new type of people. No, a new African people. And when 13 members of the grant, people understood then that they need their own nation. Once they gained their freedom through 13th Amendment, then they forced citizenship upon us because they never asked us if we want to be citizens. They never asked if we want to be a part of the nation. They just automatically, oh, y'all are citizens. They know the 14th Amendment. So, we had a choice to build our own nation. We had a choice to be a part of this nation. We also had a choice to expatriate and go back to Africa, go to another country. We had no choices. But the only choice they gave us was you're a citizen, which wasn't no choice. They forced it upon us. And that was something I want people to understand, that we all have a right to self-determination. We all have a right to fight for what we want, fight for what we need, fight for what we love. We got a right to that. That's a human right. Like if an animal see another animal trying to eat it, they're gonna fight back, or they'll defend themselves, or they're gonna get out the way. That's a natural defense. We have a natural defense that somebody attacks us, we have a right to fight back. But we have the right to fight back. If you're physical, if you're mentally, emotional, right? So we had a right. We had a self-determination. We had a self-determination. How about to the right to nationality, right to a nation, the right to our own government, the right to our own health service, the right to everything to look like us, right to our own school, business, and so forth and so on, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I want to leave everybody with. And also leave people, let people know that education for liberation. If you get an education that liberating you, you need to rethink that. I'm gonna say peace. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Peace. Thank you for the insight, sir. And thank you for all the viewers. Y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for everything. All right, peace.
All right, brother.